Can individual actions make any difference? Well, as an environmental educator, I have often heard this question from my pupils. Why should I care? Why should I care to sort waste if others don't do it? Why should I care to ride my bike not to pollute if there are tons of trucks and airplanes traveling around the world? Why should I care to buy products with less packaging if there are microplastics everywhere? But individual actions do make a difference. They won't save the world alone. This would be a naive narrative. But they are what I like to call our small superpowers. Let me share a personal story. When I was around 10 years old, there was no waste sorting system in São Paulo, Brazil, where I come from. But I was a stubborn girl, and I managed to convince my parents to separate paper for recycling. So every month we pick up our bags, put in the car, and drove to a private voluntary collection point. The next step was really natural. We start to separate as well plastic, metal, glass. Only years later, the municipality established a public collection system, and only in 2010, sorting waste for recycling was mandatory in Brazil. Looking back, I realized how important that small action was. My father, besides sorting waste, decided to construct a rainfall water container in the house, as well as some solar panels in the roof to heat water. It was quite unusual for the time and very pioneering. So it all began with that little spark. This is exactly what GreenComp calls individual initiative, recognizing your own potential for sustainability and acting for it. First, we need good information to make good choices. So try to learn, for example, about environmental issues from reliable sources. Get out of the bubble of denials and fake news. Or, for example, calculate your water or footprint in order to understand how important and how critical it is to take action. Pay attention on the label of products, like for example the EU Eco Label, which certifies products with lower environmental impact. So knowing it's not enough. We need to put into practice. We need to have the skills and the confidence in our own potential in order to do it. So for example, sorting waste. It's important to do it, but to do it correctly, otherwise the material cannot be recycled. Or try to learn how to reuse or repair clothes and objects, extending their life instead of throwing them away or buying even more stuff. Join initiatives like volunteering or advocating. I, for example, participate in small initiatives walking children to the school safely. In this way, we can reduce traffic while building communities. Our mindset shapes our daily choices. It becomes a habit. So try to change your consumption patterns, choosing eco-label or packaging-free products like solid shampoo or natural sponges. Pick up litter when you see it. Even if it's not yours, it's an individual action, very simple to do. It's current with your values, and it makes the environment around you cleaner and healthier here and now. Or try to eat less meat. It's one of the simplest things we can do for sustainability, but do it with knowledge, a balanced diet, and no ultra-processed food. Of course, sometimes we can't act in all areas, but this is not a matter of perfection. Maybe you can't bike to school, but you can choose how you eat and what you buy. The point is that everyone has a field of action, and here lies the real power of individual actions. You know where you stand. You set the example. You inspire others. Like a butterfly effect, individual action sparks cultural change. It fosters social movements and eventually will push also political actions. So no, you won't save the planet on your own. But yes, you can change the world we live in.